Alright, so this slide is talking about heat capacity. And before we start talking about how heat capacity relates to water and the physical properties of water that are controlled by its heat capacity, we should define what heat capacity is. And heat capacity is the amount of heat required to produce 1 unit change of temperature per 1 unit of mass. So in this particular example, we have 1 kilogram of gold and we have 1 kilogram of aluminum. I would much rather, of course, have the kilogram of gold. Now, which one of these do you think has a higher heat capacity? That is, which one does it take more heat to raise 1 kilogram by 1 degree? The answer is aluminum. And the reason is because aluminum is less dense. You can see in this picture here that a kilogram of aluminum is going to have a much greater mass than 1 kilogram of gold. And everybody should know that if you have gold in your right hand and aluminum in your left, the gold is going to feel heavier, even if it's, especially if it's the same volume. So because of that, that means that gold is more dense. So because it's more dense, heat can move easier between atoms of gold than it can between atoms of aluminum. So since it can move easier, it takes less heat to raise its temperature. So as you can see on the left, you've got the same heat from that one match, and that match is raising the heat of that unit, that 1 kilogram, from 20 to 90 degrees Celsius. And on the right-hand side, 1 kilogram of aluminum, which is a much larger mass, so the heat has to be spread out a lot more, is only raising it, it looks like maybe 10 degrees Celsius using the same heat. So in this, the kilogram of aluminum, the material aluminum, has a much higher heat capacity. So if you have water, what do you think, we're talking about liquids, what do you think has a higher heat capacity? Water or oil? Oil is the right answer because oil is less dense. We know that oil sits on top of water. So it's going to take more heat to move the same unit mass of oil, the same amount of oil, the same weight of oil is going to take more heat to raise its temperature 1 degree.